Hello everyone, I'm Flavia and welcome to day 13 of Spellbinders 2024 Crafty Advent Calendar. In case you have missed any of the previous videos, know that I have created a playlist for this series and you can find the link in the description box down below so you can check it out later. By the way, before we dive in, just in case you have noticed that all of the doors of my calendar have already been opened, know that is because I accidentally skipped door 13 when recording these series videos, and that means I had to go back and record today's videos last. However, I decided to still release these videos following the numeric order in case you are also counting down to Christmas with this calendar. As we can see here, today we have a small sentiment stamp set with a few sentiments in a couple of different languages, which is so much fun. Unfortunately, Portuguese is not one of them. However, if I do not stamp the letter H in the word Olá, I think that's how you say it, it will also make the word hello in Portuguese, which is olá. So I can definitely make this one work for me. Since these are very small stamps, I thought about using most of these stamps to create a kind of pattern paper that I can later glue to the front of my note card. I chose the words hello, bonjour, ciao, and olá, and I will be using a stamping block to stamp these words all over this white panel. I cut out this panel to 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches because I will be making an A2 size note card and I'm using All-to-New Obsidian pigment ink to do so. To be honest, it feels kind of awkward stamping with a stamping block since I am a crafter from the Misty generation, but I thought it would be faster using a stamping block this time since I need to cover this whole panel and it doesn't necessarily need to be perfectly straight. After that, I will use a small heart-shaped stamp to fill in some of the white spaces between these words. This is a very old stamp and it is not part of the sentiment stamp set that I showed you a minute ago. I wish I had chosen a heart outline stamp instead of this solid shape so there will be less contrast, but I will make this work. By the way, you can do this with any small sentiment stamp that you have. This is a great way for putting them to good use again, and you can use any small stamp shape to fill in the empty spaces between these words, such as stars, butterflies, flowers, and leaves. After stamping this panel, I will cut out a section on a diagonal before gluing it to the front of my white note card. The amount you should cut off of this panel is just a matter of preference. You just need to take into consideration the size of the sentiment or elements that you plan on adding below this panel and how much of the card base you want to be visible at the front. By the way, to avoid any waste, we can use that leftover piece to decorate the inside of the note card. Here I cut out 2 white panels that are 4 by 5 1/4 inches, and before I glue this second one on the right side of my note card, I will adhere that leftover piece and then I will add a thin black cardstock strip to make it neat before gluing this panel to my note card. Later, I will stamp a sentiment above this black cardstock strip, but it is definitely safer if you do so before gluing this panel to the note card so you do not risk messing up the whole project. To decorate the front of my note card, I will add the die-cut word hello that I cut out of black cardstock using a die plate included in the Spellbinders April 2024 small die of the month. Then I will add an embossed die cut by Paper Rose. At Spellbinders shop we can buy these Paper Rose embossed die cuts and these bold designs are so much fun. I must confess it did take me a while to pick one. With one pack we get 4 A5 size sheets of this, which is a lot of stuff as we can see here. They do come pre-cut, however connected to the backing sheets, and you can keep it as it is until you need to detach one to use it. However, I just went ahead and removed all of the pieces from the backing sheets so I could store it in this plastic bag. If you do like scrapbooking, these are great for that as well. Here is a closer look at the completed note card, and I hope you enjoyed this video and felt inspired to create. I decided to also add some black beads to the front of my note card, and inside I stamped the sentiment that reads, "You are my favorite person on earth." Then, for a pop of color, I went ahead and added a red die-cut heart. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Take care, and I hope to see you again tomorrow for the review of doll 14.